Well, I'm surprised. Thought I'd surprise everybody and just go live and see if anybody shows up. I just got through watering my garden. I picked a few bell peppers today, and I put the StreamYard link at the top of the chat. I didn't turn the sound off. Now, but I put the StreamYard link at the top of the chat, so if anybody wants to join me on video, they are welcome to get up here with me, and we'll see who we're chatting with. I just felt like chatting with people tonight, so I thought I'd go live and see who showed up. We've got Connie in the house. Hey, Connie. I got 8 watching right now. I don't know how many will come into live chat, but I got Susan's card behind me on the freezer, right under my Lady in the Garden sign. Yeah, I thought maybe some people that are not busy, would like to come in to chat. I know Gladys would, and I didn't think to let her know. She might be doing other stuff at this point. I don't know. She may be watching a movie. Who knows? Usually she asks me to go live because she wants to get in the live a lot, but I haven't heard from her, so I don't know. This is cool. Thank goodness I woke up. Just finally fell out for a few hours. Well, good, Connie. So you're refreshed a little bit anyway. I tried to lay down before I started watering, and I rested a little bit, but I couldn't go to sleep. And there's Susie Ann. Hi there, Susie Ann. I enjoyed the shorts of your fur babies. Yeah, I see a lot of people like that. I got quite a few views on it already. I try to catch them at all different times doing different things. Sometimes they do really cute things and I don't get to catch it on video. I said, well, one of these days. So what are you ladies doing this evening, or what have you been doing today? I did another cooking video. I may upload it tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. Um, I try to stay ahead a little bit with videos so I have something to post the next morning, because it seemed like most of my subscribers are used to me posting a video about mid-morning. That's the time a lot of them, I think, get up because they're not working, they're retired. Like me, they get up when they want to, or when they feel like getting up. There's Susan. Hi there, Susan. I'm just telling them there's your card behind me on the freezer back there that you sent. But I think I showed that in one other video after you sent it, or after I got it. How's Susan doing today or tonight? And there's Dennis. I'm a man, but what a nice surprise. Well, I'm happy you like it, Dennis. I'm glad you're in the house. And like I said, I put the StreamYard link at the top of the live chat. So if anybody wants to copy it and put it in your browser and get on stage with me or get on the video with me, you're welcome to do it. I know if Kyle was in the house, he'd probably pop up there if he was not busy with his kids. 19 watching. I'm doing great, Susan. I just come in from watering my garden. And there's Karen Meyer. Hello. How are you doing this evening? Along with Dennis and Connie and Susan and Susie Ann. That's me. I'm a little tired. My body's a little achy since I was doing a lot of stuff around the yard today. But I see a lot more stuff I need to do tomorrow. I don't know if it'll take place. But we were only in the high 80s today, so it was a little cooler. It wasn't the 93 or 94 like it was yesterday. But it's going to be up in the 90s tomorrow. And then I think next week it's going to be in the high 80s most of the week. Dennis says I was watching your cat short and putting some roast or something in the slow cooker. Well, there you go. Stew, I mean, okay. Well, I did an interesting soup today that I did a video on. And I was going to do the soup anyway, because like I told Connie one time, I said, I'm going to cook anyway because I don't go out to eat at restaurants. I mean, very seldom do I go out to eat. And most of the time, if I do go get something to eat, it's in a drive-through, like at Wendy's or McDonald's or Burger King or maybe Panda Express or something like that. Once in a long time, I'll go sit down and eat something somewhere. But yeah, I fixed a really nice soup that I did a video on. I'm not going to tell you what kind of soup. You'll have to wait and see when I post it. And there's Laura C. Good evening to you. I'm doing great. How are you doing today? In Texas, happy Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving yet. We're not in November. And there's Donna. Hi there, Donna. No 80s here. I know Connie was telling me in a text that she was getting some pretty cold weather. But it's been like 90 in the mid 90s here for days. And today it dropped to the high 80s, which felt a little good. My poor plants were burning up again. I went out there and I did pick, see if I can get them over here. Oh, I did pick some bell pepper out of the garden, a pan full, and I got a bunch more. And I wanted to fix stuffed peppers, but look how little my orange ones are. My green ones got a lot bigger. My orange ones were tiny, but I think I'm going to stuff them anyway. And I'm not sure what that is. It's probably a hot pepper. It looks dangerous is what it looks like. I know that's hot. That red one, I know that is hot, extremely hot. That'll set you on fire. But I got a whole pan of them. I was going to fix some stuffed peppers, I think. It don't matter if they're little. Whoops. I can stuff them anyway. I just grab and I got me an eggplant. Pretty decent eggplant. And I got to cook it. I may cook it tomorrow. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but it'll be a video. I promise you. Everything I've been cooking lately has been a video. But I said, why not? I'm going to cook anyway. Kim Waltz said, love bell peppers. Grandkids take them to school for snacks. Well, good. They like healthy food. And Connie texted Gladys, so let her know you're live. Okay, thanks, Connie. In Canada, it is. And there's Ruby. Hello. Well, thank you, Ruby. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. But I think y'all enjoy the suit video that I'm going to post. I haven't decided if I'm going to post it tomorrow or the next day. You read my mind, Dennis. That's what I've been thinking to do. I've got a good eggplant parmesan recipe And that's what I think I'm going to do. That'll be just enough to cook, because I don't want a great big pan full. Most of the recipes say to get at least 2 good sized eggplants to do this, but I'm just going to use one. That'll be plenty. My sandwich was great. Yeah, it was. I was surprised if it's the Whataburger sausage that you're talking about. It was really good, but it was a little not hot, hot, but it was a little spicy. It was a little warm, put it that way. There was just enough hot pepper flake in it to give it a little bit of a kick, but not really burn or hot. You know what I'm saying? You knew it was there, but that's about it. The sweet pepper one looks like a ball of some kind. This, I don't know if it was a bell pepper. I'm thinking it was a bell pepper and it just kind of got misshaped. I'll find out when I go to stuff my peppers. I'll cut into this one and see if it's hot. And if it's not hot, I know it's just a odd shaped bell pepper. Because I planted red ones, orange ones, yellow ones, and green ones. And I've got more green ones than anything. But you can see I did have a few orange. But by the time they turn orange, they're still real small. It doesn't seem like they're getting as big as the green ones for some reason. But they're still good. They're still edible. Yes, Whataburger. It's good sausage. I liked it. That one and the Great Value that I get at Walmart are right up there with me. I mean, they're like tied to be my favorite because I really like both of them. In Canada, you're getting ready for winter. I feel like coming, and I'm not looking forward to snow and the cold. Well, we got a ways to go before it's going to be like that here. We don't usually get our first frost till about the first, second week in November. Yeah, I love bell peppers in my eggs too, especially if I make a quiche or an omelet. I love chopping up bell pepper in there. Dennis, oh, that sounds okay. What was I made egg? Oh, you made an eggplant parmesan sub. I've never thought about doing that, but it sounds like it'd be something good. That's what one of my grandsons wants for breakfast every time he's here. Sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. Well, they're pretty good. And why go to a McDonald's or Whataburger or Wendy's or somewhere like that and pay $2 or $3 for an egg sandwich when you can make one probably better at your house, and that's what I do. My 2 teenagers are growing cucumber and tomato plants in the house and they started to sprout. Well, good for them. I wish I had a place where I could grow mine inside. I mean, my little greenhouse, it's not suitable to try to grow anything in it when in the wintertime because I've tried keeping stuff in there. It prolongs the life, but when it really gets cold and it freezes, my plants freeze even in there. And I can't afford to run a little heater out there because it would just shoot my electric bill sky high if I did that. Because it's not insulated or anything like that. It's not going to hold heat. So it wouldn't work at all. Yeah, future farmers, Laura. Your grandkids will be future farmers. Or your kids. I don't know. My teenagers are growing. Yeah, your boys, I guess, or your kids. Yeah, I like bell pepper and pasta and spaghetti sauce, any of that. I've never tried the bell pepper in my hash browns, but it sounds good because I like the onions, the bell pepper, and the hash browns. And I put onions in mine already, so Bell pepper sounds good. And there's Jackie M. Hello, Jackie. How are you doing this evening? The only thing is, each grandkid wants something different, and they get it. Well, there you go. You got to spoil them. My two girls are growing them. They're 16 and 18. Do you think they can grow in our house over the winter? We're in Canada. We can't plant until the spring, and that's, well, if they get plenty of sun and they're in good, really good, rich soil, and you keep them watered, they should. I mean, a lot of people grow stuff in greenhouses over the winter months, but you know, they've got temperature controlled greenhouses, and I don't have that. I can't afford anything like that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing with a couple of these bell peppers, is making stuffed bell peppers with them, and I'll do a video on it. I'm gonna make them fun too. Or where's Beth going? She says, bye all. Are you leaving us already, Beth? You just got here. Yeah, everybody say hello to Beth. She came in and she said hello, and then when I noticed it again, she was saying bye y'all. I thought to myself, well, you can't be leaving already. You just got here. Yeah, not near a draft. But if they have plenty of sun to grow, because they do need some sun, partial shade is good. But if they are temperature controlled inside, they should produce all winter long. Mine would under my shade cloth out there. They're putting out green tomatoes right now because the temperature has dropped a little. It's not up in the hundreds. And they would probably produce all winter long if I had them in a controlled temperature greenhouse. Really, Beth, come back. I hope you don't think everybody was being rude or something. Or maybe she just popped in to see what was going on and then decided to leave. Dennis said maybe I was talking too much. No, you can never talk too much. You thought one of the cats disappeared when you heard that song on. No, they're still here. Sometimes you'll only see one of them in a video because I just happen to catch them, by themselves sometimes. Other times they're together, which is most of the time. So I can video both of them at the same time. And there's Time Traveler. Karen, hello. Connecticut here. Well, welcome from Connecticut. How are you today? Just planted tomatoes. Spring here in Victoria, Australia. Oh, wow. Isn't that awesome? Your springtime is just starting. Yeah, that's true, Susan. And there's Alfonso. Hello. Yes, I'm having a wonderful day. I've been watering my plants. I did a cooking video today, trying to decide if I want to upload it for tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to make eggplant parmesan by this really good recipe that I have. Oh, okay. Glad you said something because I didn't realize you were back there.
Hey Linda, how are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Good, running my electric train, got them all upgraded.
You upgraded your trains, huh?
Yeah, the couplers, knuckle couplers,
Right.
because the
Look at
original
this.
hook and loop coupler, a lot of them broke off. So I
Oh
decided to
wow.
upgrade it, and now they hold up pretty well.
Well, that's good.
I can run a long train without any problems.
Yeah, you got a pretty long train there. And it
Yeah.
looks so real with the lights, where it looks like there's lights in it and everything.
Actually, it's just like reflector tape that I put in the cars.
Yeah, I remember you saying that the last time I saw your trains, that it was reflector tape, but it looks just like lights.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Looks cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get more of that DOT tape someday, but they're expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
Like $130 a roll.
Oh wow. I couldn't
I,
afford that.
yeah, I can't. I don't need that much, you know. I just need enough for a few more cars, and that's it. Like a few cabooses.
Right. Time Traveler says it's cold here for a couple of days now. Yeah, it's been hot. I mean, it's sweating hot still in Texas.
So I've
Ruby
been.
said Ruby's telling you did a great job, Alfonso.
Thank you. I've been running this train for an hour already without no problem, no derailment.
Oh, well, that's good. It's not good when you first get it started and it already derails, is it?
Right, it's frustrated. Because you know when it derails, sometimes you could have a short circuit on the track.
Yeah.
Because the metal wheel touches both rails, the axle,
Yeah.
and cause a short.
Oh, wow. Connie says to tell Alfonso, our engineer, brings back good memories of me and my brother playing with our train sets when we were little kids. And she also, no, Dennis said to tell you that he enjoyed your Crone concert.
My virtual concert, yeah. My
Yeah, I
clones,
catch
yeah.
your concerts sometimes. I forget about them sometimes and I get busy. But if I remember it, I do catch your concerts on
Yeah, it's every
Saturday night.
Saturday night from 7:30
Right.
Mountain Time.
Dennis says that's a lot of eggplant. Yeah, for $130. Yeah, you got that right. I don't think I could handle that much eggplant, $130 worth of it.
Someday I want to get the switches, you know what they call the turnouts? We switch tracks, like the switch tracks, the turnouts.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at those, they're like about $150 each. A
Oh,
switch.
wow.
Because these tracks are expensive, they're like $15 a foot.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't have one. My
Yeah, because you
son
know,
would have,
yeah, these trains are meant to go outside in the garden.
yeah, my son would have loved those trains when he was growing up. He probably still would
Yeah.
because he loved trains when he was little. We always had a train set for him. He always ran trains, but
Oops.
we never could afford anything like you got up here. He could afford it now, but he probably wouldn't want to put the money in a train and track because he really doesn't have anywhere to run it.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, the reason these are expensive at this scale because they're meant to go outside and they're weatherproof.
Oh, wow.
I just been very fortunate. A lot of these trains were given to me from friends and stuff like that, and my managers at work.
Right. And
So,
hello, Grandma Teresa. How are you doing? I started to watch the video where you were making your, what was it? I forgot now what it was, but it was the one that you had my name under it. And you said you were going to try making them or something. I didn't get to watch it all because I had this live coming up, but I'll go back and watch it.
like, let me show you right here. These are the original couplers. Like
Right.
these are real that come from the train sets. Like
Oh, shrimp,
these will not
shrimp
hold up.
scampi.
These will not hold up on a long train. These will break off because they're under a lot of tension.
And there's layaway. Are you leaving? I mean, I just saw you come in to chat. I hope you're not leaving already.
So this is what I did. I upgraded to these kind of couplers, 3D printed,
Right.
and they hold up pretty well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if I would have bought these couplers, they would have been $25 each.
Donna's asking, do the trains back up?
Yeah, I could back it up. I could back it up now because now that I've upgraded it, I could back it up.
You've upgraded the couplers. They won't come apart if you back up, huh?
Right. Because they're body mount. Let me see if I could back it up.
That's a cool train set you got, though.
Yeah, it's just kind of heavy to push.
I like that recording, the conductor.
Yeah, it gets annoying. I wish I could put my own recording.
Yeah, Lowaway, have a good night if you're leaving us. I wish you'd stay. Tony said, my brother and I built a table to put it on, and we made grass out of Mama's old sponges, and our train station out of cardboard, and we painted it. We made switch signals out of any metal we could find.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool, Connie.
yeah. A lot of these
Little
model trains
Buddy's
are
doing
expensive.
great, Laura.
The accessories.
In fact, he was inside till just before I started the live, and then he wanted to go back out, so I put him back outside with Lucky.
Put this back on the track.
Time Traveler said that my dad had trains, and we had a great time adding to his landscape, bridges and buildings. Yeah. I bet that was fun.
Oh yeah.
It's something that the whole family can enjoy. If you got kids up any size that love trains, and usually they do love them.
Yeah. Yeah, these big ones are pretty rugged, for the little ones to handle.
We do have ticks in Texas, but I don't have any around my house. I've never seen a tick here in my yard. But I don't have dogs, so, years ago when I had a dog here, the dog would get ticks on him. Because when I take them to the groomer, they'd get the ticks and put stuff on them for fleas and all that. But since I don't have a dog, I don't see any ticks.
To make some adjustments.
Oh, you just took one off your cat yesterday, Laura? Oh, my goodness. I've not seen any on these cats. I don't think they stay still long enough for a tick to get on them. And there's April. Hello, April.
Every once in a while, I gotta adjust the couplers.
Connie said when they got their Legos, they made buildings out of them for the drama train village.
Yeah. You can make the proper adjustments.
Yeah, Alfonso is treating us to watching his train. He's just upgraded his train, so.
It's the knuckle couplers. Yeah, these hold up pretty well. I just got them 3D printed at my local library. Got 20 of them for free.
Really?
Yeah. And man, these are like, if I were to buy these online, like for Katie's coupler, man, that would have been like $25 each.
How did you end up getting them for free?
Because I download the STL file from Thingiverse.com,
Yeah.
and then I just send it to my local library, and then because we have a 3D printer at my local library.
Yeah, but it just prints it out on paper.
No, it prints it out. It's 3D printed, which means what it does is like prints runs some from a filament, from a plastic filament, then it like zigzag all the way around, to make it to form the coupler.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the libraries would do that.
Yeah, if you look up 3D printing, you know what I'm talking about. It's a machine that.
I would assume that the library would at least charge for the materials or something.
Yeah, but here it's free.
Dennis says he's never been to Canada, but he loves Canadian bacon. And Susan, she says she doesn't understand 3D printing.
3D printing is just basically you take a three-dimensional drawing from a CAD software, then you send it to the printer, to the 3D printing.
Yeah. And Donna wants to know, how long have you been into trains?
All my life, man.
I just started to say you've probably been into them since you were just a little boy.
Yep.
Well, that's a good passion to have. You love trains. You spend a lot of time with trains. That keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather.
I tell you what, kids now they're not into that stuff now. They're more into electronic tablets, video games.
Well, I tell you what, I think a lot of the kids today would have been better off if they were into trains and a lot of stuff that we were into growing up,
Yeah.
instead of into what they are into.
Yeah. But you know what? Nowadays, from what I'm hearing, that a lot of the newer model trains, they're set up where you can run through Bluetooth using your phone or
Yeah, you
tablet.
can operate them through Bluetooth.
Yeah, but they're expensive. You have to upgrade it. You have to buy the chip and all that. That's like about $150 upgrade. Like you want to use it
April
with.
said she April says she always wanted to take a train across the states. We used to take a train from North Carolina to New York to see my grandmother, my mom's mom.
Yeah.
And we did that for years. We'd go back and forth from New York to North Carolina on the train. And it was a lot of fun. But then
Oh
they
yeah.
cut the train out.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Dennis
And
wants to know how old Alfonso is.
I'm old as you are. Like I'm 40. I'm older than Linda.
He's older than me, he said. He's 40. Do you put brown sugar in your turnips? Are you asking me, Laura, or are you having a conversation with someone else? Because some of these I don't see. We're in North Carolina, a little town called Atkinson. It's about 20 miles inland from Wilmington, which is the port city. And I lived out on Oak Island just before we moved to Texas. So it's right along the East Coast. Southport area, Wilmington. Yeah, Jackie, he's a youngster at 40. Hobo April. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to ride the trains from North Carolina to New
I've
York.
been on the Durango Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad 7 years ago.
Oh, really?
Running Colorado, the steam passenger trains, and those historic steam passenger train. Been on that one.
I've not been on that.
It's in
Dennis wants
Durango.
to know, he said, ask Alfonso if he ever looked up hobo shoestring.
Hobo shoestring. No, I
Yeah,
haven't had a chance. Let me.
hobo shoestring.
Hobo shoestring, right?
Hobo,
Yeah.
Hobo, shoestring. I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah.
He said he'd asked you one time.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I looked up his channel before. I've seen it. I've seen one where he rode from Denver to Wichita, then to El
Oh,
Paso,
okay.
Texas. Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Where he hops on freight trains to hitch rides that way.
I know people used to do that all the time.
Yeah, but you can't do that no more. Probably get arrested now.
Yeah, I just started saying, and now they have so many um, precautions to keep people from getting on a train like that.
Yeah, people getting hurt that way.
Yeah, getting hurt, and like you said, you'd probably go to jail if they caught you on a train now.
Yeah. Probably get caught with criminal trespass and all that, or cargo theft.
But yeah, that used to be a free ride for a lot of people. That's kind of cool. And the guy in the picture, he's got a conductor hat on with a long beard. He looks like he would be a conductor of a train.
Right.
He's got 206K subscribers and 515 videos.
Wow.
It says he's ridden over 20. No, he's ridden over 2,700,000 steel rails
Miles with steel rails.
in 49 USA states, it says. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Donna said midnight train to Georgia. Tamara said watching the trains roll is a beautiful sight. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Dent said his uncle just retired as a conductor for Amtrak.
Wow.
Yeah,
I bet that was a good job.
yeah. He gets to travel a lot of places. We
Yeah.
got Tamara in the house. Hi, Tamara.
You get to talk with a lot of people and all that, socialize and all that. Versus a freight conductor, you don't get to do much. You don't have a set schedule.
Right.
And Amtrak, you have a more set schedule.
I'm wondering if you're a conductor of a train, if your family gets discounts on tickets to ride the train.
I'm pretty sure.
I would think so, but you never know.
Right. Because I'm pretty sure you could you might get discount. Who knows?
Well, I know, if you're a airline pilot or a
Yeah.
stewardess, you get discounts for family members to fly places. So I would assume, you would get the same discount on a train, maybe.
Right. Yeah, Amtrak is still like they travel nationwide. There's certain routes and all that. In fact, I think the nearest Amtrak where I'm at is the Denver Union Station. And there's these smaller Amtrak station like an hour away.
Really?
Yeah, like Fort Morgan.
Connie says she went on Amtrak every summer to go to Lloyd Center in Portland, Oregon, to ice skate at the mall. So much fun. I bet it was, Connie. You got to ride the train and go ice skating. I've never been ice skating.
Actually, when I lived in New Mexico, I was only like 45 miles away from El Paso, Texas. I know you could get the Amtrak there in El Paso.
Yeah.
And I know like west of La Cruz, you got 1 hour west of La Cruz, you got Deming, New Mexico, and I know there's an Amtrak station there too.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's been rumors that they're going to put in some super train from like Fort Worth and Dallas
yeah,
down to like Houston and San Antonio area.
Yeah, like a high-speed railway.
Yeah, so you can travel back and forth from here up down to the Houston area real fast.
Yeah,
I said that would be neat, but we'd have to probably go to all the way to Fort Worth or Dallas to get on the train. We got
yeah.
a track coming through Granbury, but I don't know if they would run that super train through here or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they take it the quickest route probably
Yeah, but they would have to lay their own tracks because
of
there
the
was called
train.
there was called trackage rights and haulage rights.
Yeah,
I mean, trackage rights means you could run your train on somebody else's track. Like you could run on BNSF or run on CXX Railway or Kansas City Southern Railway.
yeah. They used to have a train that went through my hometown in North Carolina, and I was so sad when they cut the train out and they pulled the tracks up. The
Ripped it up.
depot was still there. They used the depot for something else. I don't even remember what they used it for. But I was sad. I love to hear that train go through because it always would blow the horn,
Yeah.
and I always loved hearing that train go
Yeah, but you
through.
know what's happening now with the railroads? The reason they ripped those old tracks up because when we only had the railroad, we had tracks everywhere, but it's just the maintenance cost.
Yeah,
It costs so much to be maintaining each track, so they're trying to consolidate the routes.
Connie
Because
said we have a train that goes up into the Gifford Pinchot, or I can't pronounce it, Forest, on the Christmas train at night, and it's so cool.
actually, I have a piece of a real railroad track. Let me go grab it.
Do you really?
Yep.
And she said that is on Mount Rainier here in Washington State. Welcome back, Beth. I was afraid you left us. Oh, she says, I'm back. Pilot's wife flies free. Family members get 50% discount off. My female cousin is a pilot based out of Portland. Well, there you go. I always used to think when I was younger that I'd love to be a stewardess, but I was always afraid to fly. So I didn't know how that was going to work. But years later, when I grew up and moved away from home, I started flying with a friend of mine. He had his own planes. He had a aerobatic plane and planes that he restored, and I flew in them with him. And I got over the fear of flying.
This is what I have here. Some roll spikes.
Oh, wow. Look at that, y'all. He's
One
got
of,
railroad spikes,
uh,
real
one of the
ones.
one of the one of the faculties in college gave this to me.
Oh, wow. Because they knew you loved trains.
Yeah. And this is the golden spike. Even though it's not really golden, it's just spray painted.
Yeah.
But this one I had to grind up to make it shiny silver.
Jackie wants to know if is that train saying all aboard?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I had to grind up, man, to give the nice shiny metal finish.
It makes that train seem so real to have that conductor say all aboard.
Yeah. And then I got another piece of rail that my friend in New Mexico sent me. This is smaller.
Yeah.
These are the older ones. They used to make them out of iron. The rails are a lot
Wow.
thinner than versus the what's out there today. See the difference?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
I
track.
started to say one reason they probably pulled up the old tracks is not only the maintenance and the cost, but as the years go by, they improved the tracks
Oh yeah.
and they probably changed different styles of tracks and everything else.
The thickness of the rail. Because these are like probably like 155 pound per yard main line. Because there's different thickness of the rails. The thicker, the
Right.
heavier they are. So this is probably like 155 pound per yard.
Wow.
132, 100 main line. Like the thickness. Even in the model train rail world, they come in the track come in different rail thickness too. Like they come with code 100 is
Right.
for let's say in HL scale, 100 is 155 pound per yard. Codes 83, 132. Code 70, 100, and on and on.
Yeah.
And now
Beth
in G
Hammond says my back drive is lined with railroad ties.
And then in G scale, you got code 332. That's like depending what scale your trains are, because they're in G scale. You have so many different scales that runs on the same track. You got like 1 to 32nd scale that was more
Right.
proportion for standard gauge, and then you got 1 to 32nd, 1 to 20, 1 to 20th scale, which more for narrow gauge.
Right. See, just listen to Alfonso. You can tell he knows all about trains and tracks and everything else.
Yeah. So So in the narrow gauge railroad, for G's one, the rail thickness is more equivalent to 90 pound per yard rail,
Wow.
which is thicker than the 65 pound. So this is probably like a 65 pound per yard. So they were probably using the older narrow gauge lines.
My dad had made his driveway over the ditch with cross ties from the railroad.
Wow.
And during Hurricane, I think it was Hazel,
Right.
the yard flooded so bad that it washed the cross ties out of the. They made like a bridge going over the ditch, coming into the driveway.
Right.
And during that time, it flooded so bad that it washed the cross ties away from the driveway.
Wow.
He was able to put them back, but
But those ties are heavy.
I know, but the night before we were coming from my grandmother's house and it
Yeah.
was raining so hard and the road was covered with water. And I
Right.
remember that night he crossed with the car those cross ties
Yeah.
and came up into the yard up to the front porch. And the water was up to the front porch top, which
Yeah.
was almost 2 feet. And I thought to myself, oh my God, those cross ties must have washed out right after we came over them coming into the yard the night before.
Right.
And I said, we would have been in a mess if those things had already washed out when my dad drove into the driveway.
Right.
Because the front of the car would have went down in the ditch.
Yeah.
And we got Caleb in the house. Hello, Caleb. You're a sweet person too. Glad you could make it. We're watching Alfonso's trains tonight. He knows a lot about trains.
Yeah, the railroad. Like nowadays, I'm gonna say now the railroad ties nowadays. I don't hear seeing now that they make them out of concrete. The ties, they're made out
Right.
of concrete because the wood over time they rot away. And they
Exactly.
split.
Even though they're creosote ties,
Yeah,
they still over time will decay.
yeah,
They're not going to last forever.
yeah. So that's why people use railroad ties for the landscaping and all that nowadays.
That's the reason I said, a lot of the old tracks were pulled up because a lot of the new trains probably couldn't travel over those tracks
No,
anyway.
no, because first of all, because the older tractor rails are too thin for the newer equipment.
Exactly.
And they're much heavier. The new equipment much heavier than this, and you could really wear down the rail really fast.
Yeah.
So you need something heavier like this.
It's like everything else, You you can't play records on a cell phone anymore.
Right.
They upgrade everything and unfortunately you have to do away with a lot of the older stuff because it's not up to par with the new that comes out.
Right.
I was so glad though because I've got a collection of 45 albums.
Oh man, you know what? I got you seen all the records I have, man. Like I still have my
And I've still
turn.
got an old timey record player that will play them.
Actually,
And
now that the turntables that they're out there now because actually my turntable is a $300 turntable that I got for my friend got me for my graduation when I graduated college. It
Yeah,
has Bluetooth capability and recording
right.
capability. You could copy the records onto a memory stick.
My
It's
son's first wife, my first daughter-in-law,
yeah,
her dad loves trains, and he's got them all, he's got a table put in his garage. I
yeah,
mean, his garage houses his train track and his
right,
trains, not his car. But he collects records too.
yeah.
And he says, I don't know what I'm going to do. He says, pretty soon I won't be able to play my records because they don't make turntables anymore.
Actually,
I
they
said, oh,
do.
yes,
They're
they
out
do.
there. You could
I
get
told him,
a
I said, you need to look online, get Stephanie to look online because you can find them everywhere online where they're still making turntables to play those
yeah. They're
records.
brand new turntables. There's some are Bluetooth now. You could
I know,
we could wirelessly connect your turntable to your Bluetooth speaker.
right. So I said, I know if my stereo quits working and I can't play the records
Records.
on it anymore, I can always buy a new turntable somewhere.
Yeah, but in that case, I recommend getting a real good turntable, not the cheap portable suitcase. I would get a good one, like a Technics Newmark.
Yeah,
Like, I wouldn't spend no less than $100 on a turntable.
yeah, right. You're going to invest in it, get something that's decent that's going to hold up.
Yeah, but I tell you why from my experience, I had one that failed on me, and I would not recommend getting the all-in-one record console. You know, like the Victrola with the CD player and all that.
Well, that's what I've got. I mean, I've got the old timey one. It's like 50 years old.
Yeah,
It's got a turntable. It's got an 8-track player, and it
right.
still works. And it's got an AM FM stereo radio that still works.
Yeah.
But I hardly
It's
ever
probably one
play
of those
it.
record changers, right? The BSR record changers.
Right?
You know, when you when you stack up 45s and one drops, the next one drops when the first one's done playing.
Yeah, that's the way mine is. You can put the little records and
Yeah,
stack them up several deep, and
yeah,
then when one quits playing, another one will drop, and
yeah,
it'll start playing that one.
yeah. I had a record changer 20 years ago. I had one.
I said, this is an antique. I should get a lot of money out of it if I ever sold it because it still
You
works.
know what? You'd be surprised. People are selling them on eBay for $150.
You know what? I sold an RCA black and white television. It was
Yeah,
still like brand new, and I had it hooked to cable. So it had a real clear picture. It didn't pick up many stations,
right,
but the ones it did pick up were just as clear as a bell. And I
right,
ran it on eBay.
right.
And do you know that I sold it for just as much as I paid for it when I bought it new?
Yeah.
My son didn't think I was going to be able to sell it. I said, oh, yeah, because people collect these things.
Oh yeah.
And RCA was the best made back in the day.
Oh
So,
yeah. RCA, Magnavox, Fisher, Emerson.
I don't know. So far, I've not grown pumpkins, Laura. I've planted them. The vine started growing. It was blooming. And then it got so hot here in Texas, my whole vine died. And I've
You
not
know,
tried them again.
yeah, that happened to my watermelon.
Now, my watermelon has already produced 2 more little watermelons out there. But it's getting so hot this last week that my vines are starting to dry up. So I don't know if they'll ripen or not.
I don't know.
Well, a lot of people here in Texas probably think I'm crazy for trying to grow anything in the climate we have out here. Because most
Right,
people, unless they live in a bottom area where the ground stays moist, or
right,
live, close to the river or something, where they
right.
don't have to worry about the ground drying out so bad, they don't even try to plant a garden. But I try stuff just to see if it will produce. You're not going to know until you try.
You know what I'm thinking about doing next year? Buying those self watering pots. They're the oil system. What happened when you fill those pots with water and you bury them into the soil, and then once you fill them up with water, let the plant do whatever. You don't have to
Well,
worry
see,
about
my
overwatering.
pots, my buckets, my pots, and my totes are kind of self-watering
Yeah,
because I put the drain hole several inches up from the bottom, so it always holds a moisture in the very bottom of it.
yeah,
So it keeps the soil from drying out real
yeah.
fast, you know. And I find I can grow pretty much anything I want except for the heat. I
Right,
mean, like cilantro, it will bolt. It's gone when it gets 100 degrees. It's not going to live. I don't care where you put it.
right.
You'd have to bring it in the
But what
house
you
where
gotta
it was
do is
cool.
put a shade over it. Put shade
It
over
wouldn't
it.
matter. I've had cilantro in the shade and it still bolted when it got 100 degrees because it does not like the heat.
Yeah, but I had some like my experience in that made it because we had 100-degree temperatures here where I'm at, and oh my gosh, like it really killed some of my plants.
Yeah. Now you could grow it in a greenhouse that was temperature controlled, or you
Right,
could bring a pot of cilantro in your house where it was kept cooler and it would live.
right.
I don't have any room in my house to bring
But then
anything
you
else
gotta
in
have
here.
the right amount of light.
Yeah, and it doesn't get sun in the house, so it's hard to grow anything in my house that
You have to get a
required
grow
sun.
light.
But like I said, I don't have room. You know, I live in a small mobile. It's
Or you could
12
get a
by
small,
like
you
6.
could get like a small hydroponic system with a grow light. You get grow it indoors, and you water it like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, if you had room to put it, but I don't.
Yeah, you have room because it's pretty small. It's not that big.
Yeah, but I don't have any room. My subscribers have sent me so much stuff. One of my spare bedrooms is stacked with stuff they've sent, like cat food, uh, groceries for me, and all kind of stuff until I can get to use it all. So yeah, I'm limited with space. It's only 12 wide by 65 feet, so it's not very big.
Oh, it's a single
And
wide
I've
mobile
already
home,
got
or
it.
what is it?
It's a mobile home.
Man, I've been wanting to get one of those
See, I don't have a basement like you. I could have a grow light if I had a basement,
because I
but
thought, see, imagine your mobile home look like a passenger train, right? A passenger rail car.
do what?
Your mobile home might look like a passenger rail car.
Yeah, something like that.
And bet
An
you could ride
18-wheeler trailer.
you could ride around in it too, right? While being pulled.
Well, no, it's so big and it's really fixed with underpinning and everything, so it'd be difficult to move it.
Oh, it is. You have to disconnect everything underneath it.
I mean, it was made to be moved different places, but
Yeah,
not like on a regular basis.
right,
Like if you wanted to move it to another location, you would move it and then set it up again, but you wouldn't move it like every week or something like that.
right.
Now, the smaller ones you could,
But not the long mobile homes, right? You can't do that.
not as big as this one is. You wouldn't want to, you'd be limited on how many times you could move it a year.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
didn't
as
know.
old as this one is, I don't think I'd want to move it anywhere because the more you move it and the older it is, the more you're going to cause it to leak.
Or break
Yeah, or
too.
break. So, and I've already put a new roof on my house. I've got patio covers. I've got a carport in front of it. So it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, it's been sitting here. Oh, well, I know it's been sitting here since 1978 because that's when I moved here.
Yeah.
And it was already here a couple of years before that because the people moved from Oklahoma. I knew the couple that had put the house here. They bought it and moved it in here several years before I moved out here because it was like 6 years old when I moved in it.
Right.
And I talked to the lady a few times years after that. And she says, "Oh my goodness." She said, "You've been living here forever." And she said, "Every time I think about it," I said, "we could have just stayed right here instead of going in debt for a big brick home like we did." She said, "We still don't have that home built paid off." And she said, "We'd have had this one paid off, the property and everything, and not have to worry about the big debt for the house." That's the only reason I stay here. This is what I can afford. I've
Yeah.
lived here for a long time, and I don't want to go in debt for a $200,000 or $300,000 home. I couldn't afford to pay for one.
If I had my own choice, yeah, like I would like to get my own mobile home, like my own lot, and maybe get a mobile home and get a few cabooses here and there.
Well, I've seen videos where people are buying train cars
Yeah,
and
like for
converting
eight
them into
thousand
homes.
dollars, eight to ten
Yeah,
thousand dollars.
they've converted them into homes, and they're
Yeah,
really nice looking.
like the rail passenger cars, and those could get converted to homes very easily too,
Yeah, yeah,
because they're about
and
pretty much about the same size of a mobile home.
they've been buying cargo crates or
Containers,
whatever they
yeah,
call those
yeah, the containers,
containers. Yeah.
shipping container, yeah, like I know those cost around $8,000 too, and the people are converting those.
Well, I looked them up online for what you could get in Texas, and I found some for like $3,000.
Well, a shipping container, maybe I use one.
Yeah, and my friend back in North Carolina said he was thinking about getting some to convert them into like a workshop and
Yeah,
different things. And but he said they cost so much back in North Carolina. I said, well, I looked online and I said, here you can get them for about $3,000.
yeah, but then imagine to get it shipped too.
Yeah, but then it's like I told him, I said, I don't know what the shipping charge would be on something like that.
Probably gonna
Yeah,
be.
tiny homes are mobile. I've watched so many videos on tiny homes.
Yeah, actually, I've
That,
seen them in person at tiny home. When I was in college, we had like a open house, and they had like a work. We have a workforce center at my college in New Mexico because the college I went to, it's so neat. You got the media department, the arts. It's not arts department, but it used to be called digital media. But now they also have the manufacturing in the workforce center,
right.
and they made a tiny house there at the manufacturing center, at the workforce center.
Donna said she could easily live in a boxcar. April said they're $10,000 for shipping containers in Hawaii. Yeah, I know tiny homes are real popular, and I've seen some that I really liked.
Yeah,
But
and my
those
school
that,
will manufacture it and then sell them for $10,000 because they're not allowed to make a profit.
but the some of those tiny homes, they
Yeah,
sleep up in the loft area,
yeah,
and I've got claustrophobia, so that wouldn't work for me. But I saw one that had the top would raise up when you park it where it's going to be set up,
yeah.
and you had full headspace in your bedroom upstairs. It was not just the loft
Right.
because that wall and the roof and everything raised up. And I said, well, I could live in that, but I couldn't live in
But the one I
like a
seen, it
crawl
has the
space.
have the loft, but with the bedroom with the loft area with the roof raised up too, the tiny house.
Yeah, they showed how they put in
Yeah,
this lift thing that the whole roof, the walls and everything actually raised up to make it like full head height for people that don't want to live in a loft area, crawl in a little crawl space to
right.
sleep. Because I couldn't do that. And I said, well, man, I could handle one of those because I could stand up in my bedroom. But of course, that costs a lot more to do that.
Yeah, but the
And
one I seen, like I said, the one I seen was like $10,000, man, at my school.
yeah, some of them are pretty reasonable. But I'll tell you what, they can get up there and cost just as much, if not more, than a brick house.
Right. Depends what you want and all that too. But those you could take
I
around
don't
anywhere.
remember the I don't
But those
remember
you
the
could take
cost.
around anywhere you want too. You could take those around
Yeah,
anywhere.
I don't remember the cost on the one that had the raised roof. You know, you could
Maybe
lower it to
30,
move it.
$50,000 for those.
Yeah, easily. But you know, still there's a lot of places that don't allow the tiny homes. You
Yeah,
have to just, like here, we've only got, I think, one mobile home park left.
yeah,
And I think that's probably the only place that you would even be considered to put a tiny home in is the mobile home park.
right,
But I think they're pretty. And for just one or two people, you know, a retired couple, you don't need any more room than that. Because you
right,
don't want a yard to take care of. You don't want a great big house to clean.
right.
Yeah, time traveler, I need stairs too. I'm not climbing up a straight ladder to get up to my bed. And that's the way some of those tiny homes are. It's just got a straight ladder that, if you even get a ladder, to go up to your bedroom, which is nothing but like 15 feet of space with a mattress up there. I can't do that. I would freak out. I know, Dennis, a new truck is more than a house. I couldn't believe some of those big 18-wheeler cabs. But they've gotten so big, they've got bathrooms in them, they got beds in them, they got a cooking area where you can make coffee, and you've almost got a house on wheels with that 18-wheeler cab. So you can see why they cost so much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, you've seen the newer diesel locomotives, the newer trains that are out there now, the newer freight trains, the new locomotives, the EMD-A or the -9
The
locomotives.
streamlined ones.
No, the regular freight train, but I seen how like for the crew, like they have a comfy ride and all that.
Right.
And then like on the where you got the window, and then on the bottom of the nose of the locomotive, you got the stair coming in to the cab, and then on the side you got the bathroom and all that too inside the locomotive.
Okay, Caleb. Sorry to see you go, but you live long life, better health, and wealth yourself. You have a blessed night. Come into our live next time. We enjoy having you. Yeah, my brother, one of my brothers, because I've got 5 brothers, but my brother Donnie,
Yeah,
he bought an 18-wheeler trailer.
right.
I guess that's what you call it.
Yeah, those big.
And he put it at the beach and he turned it into a camper light. He
Right,
converted it into a place that he could go stay overnight or the weekend at the beach because he bought
right,
a lot down there. And he converted the inside of it to look like a mobile home, you know, or a tiny house.
right,
And him and my sister-in-law would go down there and spend weekends or spend a week whenever they wanted to. Their daughters would go down there with their families and they'd have cookouts and stuff right on the beach where he had that 18-wheeler trailer set up.
yeah.
I don't have any idea where he got it or how much he had to pay for it, but
I'm pretty sure you paid around $5,000.
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Because those containers are expensive. Those trailers, the 18-wheeler.
Right. Jackie Ip says can't do it, wheelchair wouldn't work. Yeah, you need a little bit more than a tiny house for a wheelchair, that's for sure.
Probably have to get a double wide.
But you know, they custom make them, and you could probably somehow outfit a tiny home to accommodate a wheelchair even. You
Yeah.
never know. And Ruby says bedtime in North Carolina. See y'all next time. Okay, Ruby, you have a blessed night. I just can't live in something too small. I don't think I want anything much smaller than what I've got. I did live in one that was a 1-bedroom when I first started living in mobile homes years and
Right.
years ago, when I was first married to my first husband. And I didn't mind it at all. I mean, it was kind of fun because you didn't have much to clean up,
Right.
didn't have much to heat or cool. And then later we got a bigger one that was a 2 bedroom, new mobile home
Yeah.
with huge living room and a good sized kitchen with washer. Um, and then this one is a 3 bedroom that I'm in now,
Yeah.
bath and a half.
Oh, I
But yeah,
remember
if
the
I'm going to
mobile home
live
that I
full
lived
time,
in. When,
I don't know
um,
if I could handle a tiny home.
actually,
It would
my
have to, every bit of it would have to be built to my specification for me to live in it.
yeah, I remember back in the mid '90s. My parents, my parents, we had a mobile home. You know, we bought our first mobile home. It had like a 3 bedroom, living room, kitchen, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, I've got a bath and a half. There's one bath to one of the bedrooms on the end,
Yeah.
and then there's a bedroom, and then the full bath, and then another bedroom at the other end. And then the kitchen and living room is kind of in the center. But I've lived here for a long time, so it's old, but it's home.
Yeah.
Jackie said yes, double wide mobile home works with wheelchair. Yeah, I like that too, Connie. Connie said she likes the way they build storage into the stairs and the loft and tables that fold back into the wall. You know, the first mobile home I lived in, it had a little table big enough for 2 people to sit at. And when you were not using it, you could lower the brace underneath the table and it would flat down right against the wall. It
Right.
had, it would just drop. And then when you got ready for your table, you just lift it up, put the brace, pull the brace around it, and then lock it. Put your chairs there, and you had your table again. Because your table was actually in your living room. It was right
Right.
beside the couch. The house was so small.
Right.
And it was made kind of like a little airstream. It was made to be moved, you know,
Right.
to take around different places. It wasn't really made to set in one location and leave it, even though that's
Right.
what we did with it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. You check prices of a double ride today, you're going to pay about $50,000 for one, a cheap one.
Well, that how much the double wide been around ever since the '90s. A double wide was 50,000, and
Well,
a single
maybe
wide.
I'm not so much the double wide, but the manufactured homes is what I'm thinking of because they don't go so much to make the double wide mobile homes anymore. Now it's manufactured
Like
homes.
modular homes. It's now
Yeah.
modular
And you
homes.
pay 40, $50,000 for a good size one.
Yeah. Now they're pretty much like modular homes now. It's not like a mobile home anymore. It's just modular.
Yeah, because they take it and set it up in sections and then it's stationary. You don't
Yeah.
it's not put there to move.
Right.
My brother has one in North Carolina. When him and his wife got married, they bought a modular home or whatever
Yeah.
they want to call them, and they put it up, and it's in 2 sections. It's like a big double wide, and yeah, it's not made to move,
Right.
but they're not cheap.
Oh no.
They're pretty expensive when where houses go. And these new homes they're building today are not cheap either. You're going to pay at least 200,000 or more for one of these decent sized houses.
Yeah.
Even a tiny small house is going to be like $230,000.
Wow, that's too much.
Well, the one across the street from me, I looked it up on the website before they sold it, and it's 3 bedrooms, bath and a half, kitchen and living room. But the rooms are small, and I don't remember the square footage on it, but it was $230,000. And Randa said she told me she said they paid way too much for that house. And this one,
Overpriced.
the one they're building next door to me here on the left side of my lot, It's going to be 3 bedrooms, I think bath and a half, living room, kitchen, probably a laundry room. They've not finished it yet, but they've already got a realtor sign in the front yard, but they don't have it listed on the website yet. They'll wait probably till they finish it so they can take pictures of it and then list it.
Right.
So when they do that, I'm going to go to the website and check it out. I could wait till they have open house and just walk over there and go through it, but you can see just as much on the website. They show
You know,
every
when they have
room
the
in
open
detail.
house, you know what's nice about it? Sometimes they have snacks and all that too in the open house.
Listen, I don't know if they do or not. I've not been to these open houses. They had an open house on the one at the end of the street, and I was thinking about going to it, and I never did. And that house is not sold yet.
Wow.
The last two they built on this street down on the other side, they're not sold yet. So
But
they're not
sometimes, like in
selling
the
them
open
as
house, from what I
fast.
heard, that they have snacks, cookies, drinks, and all that.
Hey, you can make your rounds of open houses every day and get fed, get free food.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you go to open house doesn't obligate you to buy the house.
Right. But you know what happened here in Colorado? They caught this a couple of years ago. They caught this woman who stole over $80,000 worth of jewelry and medication from several open houses up in Westminster.
Oh my gosh. Why would they have jewelry and stuff like that in an
You know,
open
because
house?
unlike the private owners, were like the private sellers who were selling the house to the real estate agency, like
Oh, I see. Yeah. So they still have their personal belongings in the house.
yeah, and
Connie said her in-laws paid 280,000 for their manufactured home, 3 bedroom, 38
wow.
years ago. Wow. That's a lot of money. I thought that was 3 bedroom, but she said 38 years ago they paid 280,000. Could you imagine what that place is worth today? Oh my God.
Well, actually, unfortunately, with the mobile homes and the manufacturer house, they lose value over time because
Well, that's true. But
once
and
they're taken off the lot, that's it. It starts to depreciate. It's kind of when you buy a car, you know.
right, right.
The
Well,
moment the moment the moment you take the car off the lot, it starts losing its value.
um, right now they've restricted this subdivision so that you cannot move in mobile homes anymore. It has to be a manufactured home, and it has
Right,
to be at least 950 square feet. They did lower the square footage because they had it at like 1,200 one time. And now they dropped it to 950 square feet because of the size of the lots.
right,
And yeah, the only way I could replace my mobile home here is if it was to burn down. Then
right,
I could replace it with another mobile home equal to this size
right.
house. But that's the only way I could put another one here.
But you can't have two mobile homes in one lot, right? You can't have two.
No, they're not big enough for two. I've got 3 lots though. If this one was to burn down, you'd have to clear away the debris and
Yeah,
replace the new mobile home in the same spot where this one is what I'm saying.
right.
And they give you so many couple of months or so to do that. But
Okay.
that's the only way you can move a mobile home in now, unless they change it again. But you know what? My way of thinking, the manufactured homes are pretty,
Yeah,
but they're not built any better than a mobile home. A mobile home is kind of built sturdy because they know it's going to be moved
right,
occasionally. It's not going to be just set up in one spot and left. The modular homes, they know they're intended to be put on a lot somewhere in sections, put together, and leave it there.
right.
Because I know several people that have lived in those, and they said they were pieces of junk. They were coming apart. They have to repair stuff all the time. The way they just threw it together.
I think that within the last 20 years, that's been happening with the mobile homes too.
Yeah, mobile homes too. One of my friends just bought an Airstream because that was supposed to be the best.
Yeah,
And for many years, that was the best mobile home you could buy was an Airstream. And they said now even the Airstream is not as good as what you thought
No.
because they had a lot of defects in it. They had a lot of things that had to be fixed for them to
Yeah.
even live in it. And it's a brand new one.
In fact, the mobile home, I remember one of my friends in New Mexico had a really nice mobile home, and Burley bought it in Alamogordo, and what happened was the floor started to deteriorate the
Well,
underneath
you
with the
can
frame.
always replace the floors, just like I've been doing in my house. I've been replacing my floors. If you'll see some of my older videos, you'll see that I replaced the hallway, the
Yeah,
bedroom, bathroom.
but I'm
But
talking about what's underneath the floor. You got the wood and all that before you got the final flooring. Like the tile or whatever. But underneath it, it's actually wood that was rotting
well,
away
in
under
most of the older mobile homes, it's not even wood. It's some kind of
steel
well, they've got
frame.
steel braces under it, and they might have a wooden structure under it, but then it's like a partial board.
Yeah, particle
And
board.
you have a commode leak or a leak in your sink, and if it
Yeah,
gets under the tile into that, it causes it to swell up. It'll cause your floor to sag.
right,
And that's what happened to me in that bathroom back there that I replaced the floor in and the bedroom. Part of the floor in the bedroom next to the hall beside the bathroom started sagging because it got wet.
right.
As long as it doesn't get wet, it's fine. But you're only going to live in a place for so many years before you have a leaky pipe
Right.
somewhere. Dennis
Well,
says, I love your place, home, and yard. Well, thank you, Dennis. Connie said, it's a 4-bedroom home. My mother in law passed away of brain cancer 21 years ago. My father in law still lives there. He never remarried. Hmm. Particle board is what I was thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Nowadays,
definitely
they don't put the particle board in, but still, I don't know what they put in these new mobile homes or manufactured homes. It's something just like particle board. It's not boards. I know
right.
it's not because they had to replace the floor in one down the street. This retired couple bought this big double wide manufactured home and it was used a few years old.
Yeah,
And the whole floor had to be replaced, and they did not replace it with wood. They replaced it with that particle board or the green. It's some kind of green board stuff.
yeah,
It's in sheets,
yeah.
some kind of flooring. It's not actual wood boards.
Right. Yeah, the particle board they deteriorate big time.
Yeah. And see, I've been replacing mine with well, it's with oh, what is it called? Um, it's not particle board, but it's the other sheets.
Oh, like backboard, like sheetrock
Not sheetrock.
or hardy backer, like the backboards,
Oh heck,
cement boards.
I can't even think of what they call it.
Make
But
them.
it's the wood boards. Not boards. It's the sheets. Plywood. Plywood is what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of.
plywood. Yeah,
And mine is like 3/4 inch stuff that I'm putting down on these floors. So it's giving me a solid floor. I just haven't finished it in the other bedroom, and I want to redo it in the kitchen and living room too. But I like what I got down here in the kitchen and living room now. I hate to cover it up.
right,
And I'm afraid if I try to pull it up, it's just going to tear all to pieces. So,
right. Like I remember in the mobile home, like the flooring in the kitchen, the bathroom, they put linoleum flooring. Before that they used to put linoleum, like in the old
yeah,
houses
that's
too.
what was in here. And I pulled it up to put what I've got down in here now. It's like a vinyl flooring, it's real
Yeah,
thick,
yeah.
and it's not glued down. I didn't glue it down. I said,
No,
this stuff doesn't need to be glued down.
no. But that stuff really don't last. They just really tears up. That linoleum it really wears down and tears up.
Well, this is I can't remember the name of the company that the name of it is, but I bought it at Home Depot, and it's
Yeah.
real thick stuff. And what they said that they recommended that I do was just leave it down till I got tired of it.
Right.
And then when I wanted to put the permanent floor down, is just put the plywood on top of it,
Right.
and it would work as insulation to the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's real thick vinyl. I guess it's vinyl
Yeah.
or
Lino-
linoleum. I don't know what they call
linoleum.
it. I can't remember,
It's
but it's
linoleum.
real thick.
It's like if more made like a PVC polyvinyl chloride.
Yeah, it's
That.
real thick stuff, but it tears easy if you're not careful with it.
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm going to do. That's the reason I waited till almost the last to do the kitchen and living room again,
Yeah.
because I had done this first years ago. But the old floor was ripped out. They put a new floor in,
Yeah.
but then I wanted to put the final floor on top, have it like double thickness.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do when I do the rest of it again, is just put more on top of what's here already. And it'll make
Right.
the floor doubly thick, which will be really good insulated with that vinyl between it.
Right. But
Probably cheaper than
they don't make
insulation.
the linoleum floor anymore. They don't make that anymore.
No, so it's vinyl. It's the vinyl stuff.
Yeah.
They sell it on the big rolls at Home Depot. You just measure off how many feet you want of it, and they cut
Yeah.
it for you. But one thing that holds me back of finishing the floor in here is because I've got to move the refrigerator, then I got to move the stove to get the wood
Yeah.
under it,
Yeah.
and that's a job. And my freezer's full, so I got to wait till I get it down.
Yeah. That is a big task right there.
Dennis said the train stopped, Alfonso.
Yeah, I know. I probably need to change the battery. Oops. But I had it running for 2 hours already.
Right, it's been going for a while.
Yeah. Let me change out the battery.
Yeah, I know Connie's got some bad memories, but she's got some good memories too. We all have a few bad memories of growing up with family, but sometimes the good times outweigh the bad ones.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, Dennis said, did Alfonso forget about his train? His battery's probably dead. It's been running for almost 2 hours, he said, because he had it running before he even come live with us. It's traumatic for you to even hear of it. He's got it going again.
Gotta charge this other one up now. Takes overnight to charge. That's what I don't like about it. Like, it takes overnight to charge, and you only get like 2 hour run.
Oh, wow. So you have 2 battery packs?
Yeah. I thought about using track power, but it's not that reliable. It's not very stable, especially on a big layout like this. The electrical will not go all the way around.
I'm surprised that Kai didn't pop in tonight. He's probably wore out from working 7 days a week.
I know this one's wireless. This train says it's RC.
Yeah.
wireless.
Dennis said his phone outlasted the train this time. April says, choo choo. Donna said, train wreck.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to wreck my train because if I do that, I might have a short.
Well, she said that whenever the train stopped, she said, train wreck.
Yeah,
It just run the battery down.
yeah.
It's only 4:30 in the afternoon where April is. Of course, she's in Maui, Hawaii, so
Wow.
you're a lot earlier than we are.
Oh yeah, Hawaii's close to the equator.
Dennis said he's wore out from doing nothing. I don't know where Wilson is. He probably doesn't realize I'm even live. Tamara says, I hear the train coming. And there's Frida Cassidy. Hello. Yeah, April, I didn't think about that because it's so much earlier in Hawaii. He probably is still working. It's definitely not lunchtime.
Man, the only if I ever using track power, like gaining power from the rails to the engine, you know, I have to keep maintaining the track, keeping the rails clean all the time.
Right. Yeah, you can't let anything get on the tracks or it'll interfere with the train.
Yeah, like dust or dirt on the rails. You know, if the rails are dirty,
Right.
you won't get good electrical contact. And with it
Time
using,
Traveler said it's 10:33 p.m. in Connecticut or yeah, Connecticut. So you're a little bit later than we are. You're at least an hour past us. You're Eastern time.
Eastern time.
Dennis said it's rolling around the bend, stuck in Folsom Prison.
Yeah, like I said, I got other smaller scale model trains like the Lionels and have the regular HL scale.
Yeah.
Of course, those use track power, and those you gotta keep the rails clean, keep the rail joints securely tight. Any loose joint will keep the electrical current from passing onto the next track too. You know.
How many cars do you have on it right now?
Let me see. I got
It's
like
quite a few.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 cars.
Wow. It reminds me of a real train because it's way around on the back side of the curve, but
Yeah,
yet the whole train is in the front too. Because real trains, oh my God, they go on forever.
yeah.
They have so many cars hooked together.
You know, you ever seen the model train displays like in the train shows and all that, or in museums? Like when they have their model train set up, they have it set with 20 plus cars, 50 cars max. I've seen it in the model train
Right.
shows.
Jackie wants to know, does smoke come out of the pipe stack on the train?
No, no, I don't have. There's some locomotives that do have that that runs like that. I don't have mine set up that way because in fact I disconnected the smoke generator because when you run it like that with the smoke fluid, you damage your locomotive. You could damage it.
Really?
Yes, because some of the steam engines are made to run with the smoke fluid.
Donna said, "Are you in the basement?"
Yep.
Yeah, he said one time that he has his train set up in the basement. That's definitely something you've got to set up in a basement or somewhere where you can just set it up and leave it, because you don't want to
Yeah.
have to take it down and put it up every time.
Right. It's a pain in the butt having to take it down and put it back together.
That would not be fun at all.
No.
Well, this has been an interesting live. We've been learning all about trains.
Yeah, the railroads. How they run and all that too.
Jackie says, "Oh, interesting."
Are you near any railroad tracks you have any railroad tracks nearby?
Well, I've got them close enough that I can hear a train if I don't have my TV on,
Yeah.
but there's a train track that runs through town,
Okay.
and
But
I'm a
you're
couple of
not really
miles.
close by where you can see a train, right? You're not really close by it.
Yeah, I'm not close enough that I can see it. No.
Maybe like a mile away somehow on the track.
Well, I'd have to go to town and then go on the other side of town.
Yeah.
And just as you start going out of town about 2 blocks,
Right.
the railroad track cuts through.
So
And there's
you're
a depot over there as well.
so you're like 2 blocks away from the track, right?
Well, if I was in town, not
Yeah.
from my house. I'm
Oh,
a
okay.
couple of miles probably from my house.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's like 1 or 2 miles. Yeah, you still hear the train.
Yeah, I can still hear it. I just can't see it. And they keep that train, they run it from Granbury to Fort Worth
Yeah.
for a dinner. Um, you can reserve a ride up there and
Like an
back.
excursion. Yeah.
Yeah, excursion, and they serve dinner on it in the dining car and all that, to give you an experience of what the old timey trains were all
Oh,
about. And
so it's like an
they
old
serve
steam
meals,
engine, right? An old historic steam engine.
right? And they had the old timey dining car where the
Yeah.
tables are all set up where everybody goes to eat.
Yeah. I think that's the Texas State Railroad.
I don't know. I guess
I think that's the Texas State Railroad.
it might be. I don't know. I've never noticed. But they got the depot still there, just like it was many, many years ago, and it's painted red.
Yeah.
And the train pulls right up to the depot, and I guess the back platform is right to where the train stops. So
Yeah.
you could probably just come off of the train and step right on the platform to
Yeah.
go into the depot.
Yeah, like the passenger car, you just step out of the car and just
Right.
onto the platform.
So they kept it just for that reason, so people could reserve train rides on it to Fort Worth and back and have dinner on it and just to experience the train.
Yeah, but that's probably not a long ride either, right? It's not like an all day thing either, an all day excursion.
Well, if I drive to Fort Worth from Granbury by car, it's an hour drive.
Right.
I don't know how long it takes to get from Granbury to Fort Worth by train. I don't know if it would be
I think
faster or
it might be slower because if it's a like an excursion, they probably go slower.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They'll probably let it take as much time as they can just for people to enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like 2 hours, maybe.
Some people call it the dinner train.
Yeah. Probably like a 2 hour excursion, maybe.
Well, if it takes an hour to get up there, hour to get back, it would be 2 hours. So like I said, I don't really know how long it takes the train to get from here to Fort Worth. So I've
Right.
never been on it.
Well,
I've
it
thought
might
about
take
it, but
like a 2 hour journey from one going one way, so it might be like 4 hours total.
yeah, it might be something like that.
Because when I went on that train in Durango 7 years ago, it was an all-day thing, like 4 hours from Durango to Silverton. It was like 40 miles journey, but it's 4 hours one way, and then you got like a 2-hour layover in Silverton, so you could eat at one of
Right.
the restaurants, and then you take the train back down to Durango.
And I think it's set up to where when they get to Fort Worth,
Yeah,
you go on some kind of little tour when you get up there, and then you get back on the train and come back. Like I said, I've never been on it for the dinner deal, so I don't know exactly. I've just heard about it. But I said it sounds like something fun to do.
yeah, yeah. I really
Looks
enjoyed
like
the
we
one in Durango. I really enjoyed that one because I
Connie
remember.
says she's in Washington State. My grandparents came from Iowa and Nebraska. They were farmers, grew corn, raised cattle, pigs, and chickens. And Dennis says his granddaddy was from Dublin, Georgia. Really? Well, we've been on here for almost 2 hours, y'all. I've been losing people. I guess it's time for their bed, or
Yeah,
it's their bedtime.
it's only 8:43 here where I'm at.
Do what?
8:43 the time.
Yeah, it's 9:43 here, so I'm an hour ahead of you.
Yeah. They've been talking about Colorado switching to Central Time for the past 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. Like if they get rid of daylight saving time permanently federally, we're gonna be move over to Central Daylight Saving, Central Time.
So all the Eastern or daylight savings time will be Central Time.
Well, if the U.S. gets rid of daylight saving time altogether, yeah, Colorado wants to move to
Yeah,
Central Time.
Eastern Time will become Central Time. Because I know where my family lives in North Carolina, it's out their Eastern Time, so they're an hour ahead.
Yeah. But if we get rid of daylight saving time, it's just Colorado will be joining Central Time.
Right. My oldest brother that lives in Arizona, part of the
Yeah.
year he's 2 hours behind me. Other times it's an hour behind me, which is
Yeah.
weird.
Because they only change the time in
Huh?
Arizona. Arizona does not change the time.
Right.
They always
Dennis
stay
said
at
he's going to make a pot roast now. Good night, all. I'm staying up. Well, enjoy your pot roast tomorrow, because if you put it in the crock pot now, you'll probably cook it all night. Have a good night, Dennis. We probably need to get off here too. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. I know people are getting tired because a lot of people are Eastern time, some are
Yeah.
Central, and like April, it's not late for her at all. She said it was only like 4:30, about a half hour ago,
Yeah. That's a
where
big
she's
time
at.
difference.
Everybody's telling Dennis good night. He's got to get serious about his cooking. Oh, Dennis says, Grandma Teresa, good night. I'm still watching while I cook.
Good.
Donna said you break up my boring evenings. Well, I'm glad I did, Donna. Give us something fun to do in the evening when the sun goes down and we get bored. That's one reason I thought it'd be a good idea to come on here and just do a live real quick. Get on here and chat with people and have a good time. What time is it where you're at, Donna? I guess she heard me. I don't know if she's not answering. Oh, 9:47, she said. Same time. You're Central Time. Same time I am. And we still didn't get Gladys to show up. She's probably sleeping. That's all right. She'll make the next one. A lot of times she sends me messages. Linda, I'm bored. Go live. Let's go live.
Yeah, you know how they used to make applesauce back in the old days?
How's that?
Let me tell an old story that I heard from an old vinyl record I used to have. There's this old apple who was sitting on the track, blue and crossed. And then around the bend comes number 10. And you got applesauce.
That's funny.
So you put apples on the railroad track and then let the train smash them.
Yep. That would make a mess though on the railroad track.
Well, the way you could do it is you put them in bags, right? In Ziplocs.
Yeah, but it looks like that when the train hit the apple, it would split the bag.
Oh, it will?
I don't know. It looks like it would. I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know.
I heard of it. I heard about it. I never seen it being done, you know.
Because once you cook an apple, it's going to go almost to mush anyway.
Yeah.
That might be one of the old train tales, you know, about making applesauce.
And you know how they used to cook their food on the old days on the train, like the train crew, on the steam engine, you got the firebox and the shovel. You know, they have two shovels, one for the coal and one to cook their food in.
One to cook their food on.
Yeah. They would actually cook their food in the firebox on the train, in the steam engine.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it was like cooking on a wood stove almost.
Yeah, like.
Or coal.
They would cook the egg, sausage, meat, or whatever on the train, on the firebox.
Okay, well, I've enjoyed it, y'all, and I know you're getting tired probably. We've been on here for 2 hours now, like in about 2 minutes. So I don't want to keep you if you don't want to be here. I mean, we've been losing quite a few people for the last few minutes.
Right.
So I assume people are getting tired. They want to go to bed. We've got other things to do, and that's understandable.
Yep.
But I've had a good time, and I'm glad everybody showed up that did show up.
Yep.
I'm glad Alfonso showed up with his trains. So I guess we're going to call it a night until we go live again, and you'll never know when that'll be, except for the ones that are scheduled. We have our Thursday night trivia, and then we've got our Saturday night birthday bash coming up this coming weekend. Jackie said, had a great time. Thank you. Well, we enjoyed having you. Aloha, April. And y'all have a blessed night. Thank you so much, Alfonso, for
You're,
entertaining us with your trains.
you're welcome.
And don't forget, Alfonso has a concert every Saturday night.
7:30 Mountain Time.
7:30 Mountain Time. So y'all can check him out, support his channel a little bit. And we'll see y'all on the next one, okay? Y'all have a blessed night. Have a safe week until we see you again.
All right.
Good night, y'all. Love you.